I got any money? What's that in your pocket?
It's nothing, guys. I'm sorry.
Why don't you give it up? Give me your money now, punk!
Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be discussing pepper spray training for real-world self-defense. Let's get at it. So a couple things about this video series. I've actually broken it down into installments, and the reason why is there's a tremendous amount of information about pepper spray training, and the only way for you to process it is to methodically approach it in installment videos. So please be certain to follow it in order. The next thing is, if you want to learn the entire pepper spray program, it is available on my website at sammyfranco.com. And finally, for those of you who are unaware, I'm actually a certified law enforcement OCAT instructor. So what you're actually getting in this video series is the integration of that law enforcement training mixed in with contemporary fighting arts. You'll quickly realize this is a very unique approach to pepper spray training for real-world self-defense. As always, pay attention and good luck. There are two components to pepper spray. The first is the propellant that generally evaporates on contact, and the second is the active ingredient, which is known as oleoresin capsicum, or OC. The concentration or heat level of OC is measured by Scoville heat units, which is the actual measure of heat the pepper spray produces. Generally, most civilian pepper spray canisters have 2 million Scoville heat units. Since pepper spray, or OC, is an inflammatory agent, your target is the assailant's mucous membranes, so it's important to always aim for the attacker's face, more specifically the eyes, nose, and mouth. When pepper spray or OC makes contact with these targets, the adversary will experience immediate closing of the eyes, excessive tearing, severe burning, difficulty breathing, runny nose, and coughing. While the duration of its effects depends on the strength of the spray, the average full effect lasts around 30 to 45 minutes. Like I said before, pepper spray is an inflammatory agent. It's very effective against individuals who are immune to pain, such as psychotics and those under the influence of drugs or alcohol. There are several types of pepper spray on the market, and they include stream, cone, fogger, and foam. In this DVD, I'll be focusing on stream and cone canisters because they are the most popular for civilian use. The stream canister shoots a single stream toward the attacker, and it's ideal for people whose occupations require them to control the contamination area, such as hospitals, schools, or courtrooms. Generally, most stream patterns can cover a distance of 6 to 12 feet, however, some have been known to travel up to 20 feet. One downside to the stream pattern is that it's easier for a criminal to evade a stream projection. Also, you need to be accurate with the stream pattern, aiming it directly at the assailant's eyes, nose, and mouth. One advantage to the stream pattern is that it's less likely to come back at you or lose its range if a stiff breeze is present. The cone canister generates a fine mist that comes out in a forceful spray pattern. Most cone patterns will cover a distance approximately 8 to 12 feet. Cone canisters have a wide spray pattern and are considered as a barrier weapon that produces a much greater volume of contamination. Unlike the stream pattern, you don't have to be as accurate with a cone canister. When using a cone canister, you want to literally draw an S pattern in the air to create a large barrier of contamination between you and the attacker. There are two primary drawbacks to cone canisters. First, they don't have the same range as stream sprays, and second, cone patterns can be uncontrollable in a wind and can blow back on the sprayer.
Hey man, you got some money?
Guys, I don't have any money. I don't have anything.
I got any money? What's that in your pocket?
It's nothing, guys. I'm sorry.
Why don't you give it up? Give me your money now, punk!
When using pepper spray for personal protection, it's important to understand ranges of combat. Now, as I've mentioned in many of my other DVDs, there are 3 ranges of combat. They are kicking, punching, and grappling range. However, for pepper spray use for self-defense, it's important to understand what the neutral zone is. Essentially, the neutral zone is the distance at which the attacker, we'll say Tim's the attacker and Brad is the defender, it's a distance at which Tim cannot kick, punch, or grab the defender. So what's so important about the neutral zone? Well, it allows Brad time to create a protective barrier with a contaminant. This distance gives this guy time, and time is what you need to create the protective barrier of the pepper spray. Now, not all circumstances are going to afford you the luxury of a neutral zone. You may have a situation where someone attacks you within a kicking range, a punching range, a grappling range, or he encroaches upon you and you have to use the pepper spray. We're going to show you how to deal with those circumstances, but just understand that the neutral zone is the ideal range for pepper spray use. When deploying pepper spray, it's important to have a good stance. We use the 45-degree angle stance. Here, Tim's body is bladed approximately 45 degrees in relation to the assailant. Notice how his knees are bent, and he has 50% of his weight on each leg. The backhand is up. The reason why you want a 45-degree angle stance is because it reduces target opportunities to the assailant, at the same time provides mobility in case Tim has to move laterally or he has to back up. So we understand also that not all circumstances afford the luxury of a stance, but if you do have the opportunity to use a stance when deploying pepper spray, use the 45-degree angle stance. Being able to quickly draw your pepper spray canister is extremely important. Here, Rich demonstrates the proper way to draw the weapon from his pocket. Notice how he inserts his thumb behind the can while his other fingers clasp the front. Also pay attention to how he simultaneously turns the safety off as he raises the canister up. Since you always want to keep your eyes on your adversary, you should never look down at your canister when drawing it from your pocket. This drill should be performed over and over again until this drawing technique becomes second nature. The ability to move backwards while discharging your pepper spray is important. Here, Tim works on retreating while his weapon is pointed forward. Retreat. Come on back up. Okay, retreat. 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 Come on back up. Retreat. 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 Come on back up. Okay, good stance. And retreat. 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 Come on back up. Retreat. 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 Come on back up. 45-degree angle stance. Ready. Retreat. 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 And come on back up. Retreat. 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 50-50 weight distribution. Retreat. In this video footage, Tim works on drawing his canister while simultaneously switching his stance. Remember, prior to deploying your pepper spray, you want to keep it back and away from your adversary's reach. Then, when it comes time to deploy it, you will simultaneously draw it and switch your stance. Ready, switch your stance. Good, come back. Switch your stance. Come back. So he starts off at a 45-degree angle stance, and when he switches, he's in a 45-degree angle stance. Ready, switch your stance. He's in a 45-degree. Good, come back. Switch your stance. 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 Come back. Switch your stance.
come back. Again, your goal is to try to simultaneously draw the pepper spray and switch your stance. Switch your stance, come back, switch your stance,